From here, I actually have the incredible privilege to announce another supporting organization at the Vermont Community Foundation. Joining the McClure Foundation, the High Meadows Fund, ACAF, and the Permanent Fund. It's a product of the remarkable vision of a bequest that was made almost 110 years ago. The Curtis Fund has been providing scholarship aid to Vermont men and women for more than 100 years. Emma Eliza Curtis had no children of her own, but when she passed, she shared that her deeply held belief that education could change the course of a person's life. Over 100 years, the fund has grown and continuing to provide scholarships to low-income and at-risk and first-generation Vermont youth. The fund aims to level the playing field so that every Vermonter has a chance to obtain the education he or she needs, regardless of family background, income level, or birthplace. We view the Curtis Fund as a wonderful teammate in our focus and our principle to work to address the opportunity gap among next-generation Vermonters. Pictured is Tan Nguyen. She expected to be heavily in debt when she graduated from college. She didn't know how she'd foot the bill. Receiving the Curtis Fund grant was a huge help, she shared. I was able to cover some tuition and supplies, and my parents didn't have to worry about picking up extra shifts. And she's currently working as an admissions counselor at UVM. So I couldn't be more excited to announce this addition to our family of supporting organizations. It's been a pleasure to work with the Curtis Fund board and Joyce Sellers, their staff member. And I'd like to invite Joe Boutin, chair of the Curtis Fund board, up to say a few words about it. Joe retired as president of the Merchants Bank in 2008, and a quick scan of Joe's bio suggests that at one point or another he's been on just about every board in northwestern Vermont. So come on up, Joe.
I'd like to have known Emma Eliza Curtis, our founder. We have no record of her life. We know she lived in Burlington, the wife of a physician. She died in 1910 and left her belongings, $120,000 value, in trust to help educate needy and worthy young men and women, 1910, who chose to pursue a post-secondary education. Now, 1910, disadvantaged women did not even graduate from high school. Neither did men from economic and social lower class backgrounds. I'm not sure what motivated Emma to start the fund. We didn't know whether she had a college degree or not. She certainly wanted to help those less fortunate to go on to college. She came to the realization that they were no different than you and I. They just needed the same opportunity. In 1911, the fund awarded 7 first-generation college-bound students a grant. All 7 were male. When I came on the board in 1995, that number had grown to 125 grants to both men and women. This semester, we have over 500 Vermont scholars attending colleges, mostly in the Northeast, but all over the United States. They are recent high school graduates, they are veterans, they're single mothers, they're new Americans, they're Americans with disabilities, they're drug addicts, they're recovering drug addicts, they're recovering alcoholics. They come from every possible walk of life, but they have 3 things in common. They are Vermonters. They are needy and they are worthy. And finally, they have a strong desire to make a better life for themselves. and they hope to follow in the footsteps of over 10,000 successful Curtis grantees. And it all started with Emma's $120,000 gift. That gift today is worth $31 million. And she lived a very simple life, we understand, what we little you know of her, never imagining that that one gift would have such a profound impact. Looking out at this audience, I bet there are at least 5, just looking at, I mean, there are more than 5, Emma Eliza Curtises, who will have that same impact one day. Maybe you already have, and we know just looking at what Dan pointed up on that screen, that there's one lady in this room that has already had that impact. And I want to thank you now for those generations to come who will benefit from your kindness and generosity wherever you choose or have chosen to put that to work. I heard today on NPR coming up here that they just discovered in a cave in South Africa, an etching in that cave that they determined was put on that cave wall 73,000 years ago by a human being. That human being's lasting legacy to us, the first known, recorded history, first known etching of human cognitive activity, that one etching. Now, Emma's legacy is only 110 years old, but with this relationship with the Vermont Community Foundation and its partners, I have no doubt that her legacy will continue for generations and generations. We hope just in the next 15 years to double the size of Emma's legacy to close to $60 million. If we can do that, we can almost eliminate in our cohort the need in the traditional student body that we serve who meet the needy and worthy category to go on to post-secondary education. That is a significant goal of ours, and we think we can achieve that. We've also started a new program, what we call a Credentials of Value program, to help kids in the trades. There is no, I repeat, there is no private foundation in the state of Vermont of any substance that helps kids go on to learn a trade. Now, where is the significant need in business today? It's in the trades. I just talked to someone today who said, we cannot, in my nonprofit agency, we cannot get enough workers to help after-school programming. We can't find enough of them that have the background to do it. We can get someone to develop a program to do that, and we can fund that program. There's a lot of opportunity there. We're the funder. We need to create those opportunities. We're working with the business community to get those programs in lines, and we'll fund them. We've got a pilot program going now with VSAC with $25,000. We can fund 17 kids for $25,000 in that program. I mean, it's a home run if we can get it going. We are looking forward to working with our friends at the Vermont Community Foundation and their partners, like the McClure Foundation and others. We think it's a win-win situation for all of us. We thank you for inviting us in and letting us be a part of this terrific cause. Now, I will caution you, when I look at all the work you have to do and what Dan showed on those screens, that I don't know how you can get that all accomplished. We are absolutely laser focused on the one thing we have to do. I just hope the heck you have time enough for us. Thank you.